Hope you're having a great Sunday. Hold on a second, you guys. I'm going to, I was a few minutes late. I was talking with my neighbor, and I am going to log in on the chat here. So give me a second. Let's see who is joining us on this wonderful Sunday. It is warm here, y'all. Like for the first time in 2024, it is 80 degrees here, like over 80. Man, y'all just don't know. You don't know. I'm so glad to get this weather, the sunshine. Really, really glad to get it. So I'm going to log in on the chat. Just let's see who's coming in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. If you are watching this from the future, hello. You guys know we have this replays. So once I do this, then I put it on the channel so it replays. So you never know when people might be watching this. So how is everything going, you guys? Today we're going to talk about, this post is inspired by Stephanie Perry. Stephanie Perry actually follows me. I'm so happy about that. Bye-bye. Au revoir. So Stephanie follows me, and I follow Stephanie, of course. And Stephanie did a video the other day on Juneteenth about what that means, kind of what that means, freedom. And that's the topic of this discussion today, right? Does moving abroad offer you the freedom that you have been looking for? I think it's a perfect conversation to have in light of just celebrating Juneteenth, just this past week. So what does freedom mean to you? Like, does it mean, again, especially in light of Juneteenth, the plight of our enslaved ancestors, the things that they went through? For me, my lifestyle here, the moving abroad lifestyle, is something that I could not have imagined. And I say that because my ancestors could not have imagined. I am one generation removed from sharecropping. My great-grandparents, no, I'm sorry, two. My great-grandparents were sharecroppers. Okay, my grandparents picked cotton in South Georgia. So I'm only a couple generations removed, right? Only a couple generations. So for you, what does, as we reflect on post Juneteenth, right? What does freedom represent for you? Does it represent moving abroad? Does it represent solo travel? Is that why so many of us, in a lot of ways, don't travel? Because I can't tell you the amount of people who ask, who look like me and you, who may say, "Oh, where are you going? Oh, I've never been anywhere." And it may not always be a money thing. These are people who have the income. They may just choose not to travel. So for me, travel represents freedom. Travel represents meeting different people, different cultures, different ways of doing things, right? So come on in, you guys. Come on in the chat, say hello. Good morning. I'm going to be on for about only a half an hour today. I am going to enjoy this warm 80-degree day in Paris. So I will be here about 30 minutes, no longer than that. So come on in, and you have any questions, let me know. Any questions about moving abroad? We're talking about today, the topic of the conversation is freedom. In light of Juneteenth, what does freedom mean to you? Does it mean traveling abroad? Does it mean a move abroad lifestyle? Do you need help getting your freedom? Does it mean a remote job, remote income? Hello, Goddess Bell. What does it mean to you, freedom? Again, in light of Juneteenth, being a descendant of enslaved Africans, enslaved Americans, what does freedom mean to you? Those of you know, I moved to Paris a year and a half ago. My life here is totally different, right? I feel like I can breathe. Does that mean that things don't happen here? Yes, they do. Things definitely happen here. After all, France was very active in the colonial and the enslavement of people who look like me, right? France, Portugal, there are a number of countries in Europe, London, right? So it's always a different experience, coming here. My life as an American is totally different than people who look like me who are here. Okay. So I recognize that my life is very different now, in terms of what it would have been like, what it would be like in the US. All my family is still in the US between Atlanta and Detroit. So I'm very, again, I'm friends around the country who I keep in touch with. So I'm very familiar with things that happen back home. Very, very familiar. So, what does, travel represent to you? What does freedom mean to you? It means different things to different people. You may have your own definition. My personal definition is the ability to travel where I want to go. That blue passport is everything to me, right? Our ancestors fought hard for that passport, okay? It's the way I look at it. And that it now affords me the opportunity, because again, my great grandparents, even my grandparents never traveled. Okay, the lifestyle I live now is unimaginable. Okay, so yeah, I don't think my grandparents ever traveled by plane. I think and definitely some very close family members who have not traveled. So for me, travel represents freedom. For me, living here where I live currently represents the ability for me to go other places. I'm going to South Africa with my daughter in August and September. Late August, we're going to South Africa. I'm so excited about that. Part of the reason why I also chose Paris to live is because I'm able to go to so many other places. I've got trips to the south of France planned. Planned. Um, is it Ali? Hey, Ali. I've got all these trips planned right from here. So South Africa is planned, the south of France is planned. I'm going to Turkey again. Turkey, I see that flag. Yes, I'm going to the Turkish Riviera. I'm going to Antalya in Greece, in September. I'm going back to the U.S. for a quick visit. I have to see my family. It's been too long. So I'm going to hug my family's neck at some point this summer, hopefully next month. Flights have gone up. Flights are higher than giraffe lips, okay? And they went up in like 3 days because I should have bought that ticket and I did not. So I'm kicking my own self. But I was literally planning on coming home next month. But I don't know about that now. It just depends. If flights go down, I will get my ticket. But right now they're high. So we'll see. But yeah, you guys, if you are looking at moving abroad, it is a process, right? I will put a link in the caption. I help Black women solo travel and move abroad. If you need any assistance in that process, book a 1 hour call with me. Or if you're planning a trip to Paris and you need help figuring out what to do, you don't know whether to go to the Louvre, you don't know where to go, what to do, all you know is you want to come to Paris. Okay, Paris has so many things. You will run yourself raggedy trying to figure out what to do. Book an itinerary call with me. I'll help you plan that Parisian itinerary based on your particular interests. Okay? Give you a customized itinerary for your time in Paris. Again, I will link that in the description of this video. Once this wraps up, I will put it in the description of the video. But yeah, I'm looking forward to my travel. Definitely looking forward to it. And so, again, I was very intentional about where I wanted to move because I didn't want to move somewhere where I would have a hard time getting where I needed to go internationally. That's even my concern in the US. Like, I lived in Atlanta, right? The world's largest, you know, is the country of the world's largest airport, right, by volume. So there's some places that obviously, even in the US, that don't, I mean, the airports are horrible. So it's always going to be a part of my consideration in terms of where I'm living. I have to be able to have international access. That's going to have a big control of where I'm actually going to live. But what I'll do now, let me put it in the chat. I'm sorry. Sometimes talking and thinking and all that good stuff, I'm going to put in the chat where you guys can you can schedule that move abroad consulting call. If you are, again, needing a little bit of help and you just don't know where to get started, you don't know what to do, I'm your girl. I'm here for you, okay? I am here for you. If you've got a move abroad plan, right, and you just need somebody to kind of go over some things, the link is right in the chat here now. Click on that link and we can get started. All right, you guys, any questions? Any questions? Okay, hello. I don't want to pronounce your name wrong. Is it XANLIGV2? Is it Zanlig? I'm sorry, I don't mean to pronounce your name wrong. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but hello. Thank you for joining. Thank you for everyone for joining. As I mentioned, you guys, I'm trying to enjoy some of the sunshine. I have about 15 more minutes. Any questions you guys have? If you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. The topic of the discussion today was freedom. We talked about Juneteenth, which was just celebrated in the US. I talked about what freedom means to me. I don't know what freedom means to you. Let me know. Let me know what freedom means to you. Maybe it means the ability to work anywhere. Maybe it means the ability to work in the country or the city or the town of your dreams. Maybe it's the house of your dreams. I don't know what freedom means to you. Everybody has a different definition of it, okay? I only went with what freedom means to me, and I'm about, at this point in my life, about experiences. I care less about things. I care more about experiences. So when I'm going to Antalya in a couple months, like I said, we're going to do some yachting. We'll have a yacht and go from Antalya to Greece and hop on over and hop back. That is what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that South Africa trip with my daughter. We're also going to hit up Sweden. She's coming to Paris first. We'll have some time here. We want to go to Sweden. I've never been to Sweden, but it's so close. It's only a couple of hours away, maybe about 3 to 4 hours away by train. So we're going to do that. Definitely looking forward to hitting up South Africa. It is a dream trip. It's an early birthday trip for me. So I am looking forward to it. All right, you guys, if you don't have any more questions, I am going to go ahead and hop off. Thank you so much for joining me. We are at 666 subscribers. For those of you who are superstitious, that's 666, right? We're growing channel, and Goddess is saying she's looking forward to traveling and not being terrified by the cost of healthcare. You know what, Goddess, I need to do another video. I need to do a video about this because I've done some about healthcare, but I promise you, when you get out of that US matrix, the healthcare US matrix, and you go to other places that have affordable universal healthcare, it is a game changer. There are a number of countries, France, Costa Rica, I want to say Mexico. There are a number of countries, Portugal, that have universal health care. That will, if you move there as a visitor on a visa or whatever, you will have access to health care. It is not tied to your job. That is a revolutionary concept if you are in America, because we know you can have all that Blue Cross Blue Shield you want to have, and if you lose that job, that coverage goes out the window unless you are paying for your insurance yourself for self-employed. Goddess, you go to Mexico. Listen here. I need to get some dental work done. I'm a little cautious about Mexico. I'm thinking about Colombia. I got an expensive quote here, but I need to get some stuff done. If you wouldn't mind, let me know where you go in Mexico. If you can put it in the chat, because I definitely am interested. I'm being cautious and careful about where it is that I go. I may end up going to Colombia only because I have a good friend, and he's Colombian, and his mother is in Colombia, so she would help. Thank you, Goddess, for that referral. Thank you so much, because listen, dental and healthcare is expensive, but I promise you, girl, once you start getting, you're coming to, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're trying to come to France, right? So it's just amazing that when you get out of the US. Again, there are all these countries. And the ones I mentioned are just a few of them. That will give you access to health care. Okay? That will give you access to affordable health care. It is possible. It is not linked to a job, but it's getting out of the US. And I know a lot of people, I advocate for Black women to move abroad. Stephanie Perry was talking about this yesterday on her live stream. And a lot of times we will say, well, my job, I don't want to lose my insurance, my job. Girl, move somewhere else. I promise you it's possible. Move to another country. You will have access to health insurance. Move to another country with the level of quality of care that you would expect. So, for example, Costa Rica has some of the best healthcare in the world that is comparable to U.S. standards. And it is so comparable that your insurance companies, your Blue Cross Blue Shields, your Cignas, they have medical tourism that will pay for you to get your hip done or whatever you're trying to get done in Costa Rica. They will pay for you and a guest, right? You and a visitor. And you will still come out a whole lot less than you would in America. Hey, Sonia and Sebastian's Adventures. Hey. It's south of Cancun. Okay, listen, I need some referrals. So if you're happy with it and you've had if you've had good results, nothing. I'm always looking at where people are going. So if you recommend it, I appreciate that. If you can, yeah, definitely. If you can leave that in the chat, I'm going to check it out because I will be back home visiting, and I may have to go ahead and go to Cancun real quick, right? But yeah, it is once you get out of that U.S. matrix, sometimes healthcare can hold us back. Sometimes the thought of well, I need this job because I need this insurance. Well, the solution is, if you can, to plan to move out of the country. Plan to move out of the country. I don't know about y'all, but I definitely have had positions eliminated and healthcare goes, right? So then you don't have any healthcare. But I'm telling you, if you go other places, you're able to access that country's healthcare. France has one of the best healthcare systems in the world. There are a lot of other countries with decent healthcare. Now, there are some I would not recommend. I would not recommend you go to the UK. I have a friend in the UK, and she goes through it, and they do not believe in like preventative care. It's a whole thing. Like, it's a lot. But do your research and figure out where you can go on a visa and get access to the healthcare you need. Even when you go to countries like Cuba, I've been to Cuba 3 times. Before you go to Cuba, you must get health insurance, right? It used to be $50. I haven't been there since 2018. It used to be $50. That gives you coverage from the moment you go onto the island. You are covered, okay? So the concept of healthcare is only the way it is in America because it is a big business and you are more valuable ill than you are healthy. And it's confusing because you go to the doctor, you don't know how much money you're going to spend, you don't know if you're going to get a bill after that. I go to the doctor here in France, I know exactly how much it is I pay it, and I'm not even on the healthcare plan yet, okay? I'm not even on the official country-sponsored healthcare. I do have a private healthcare insurance that I had to buy in order for my visa to be approved because they're like, look, you won't be here and have nothing. That was €700. Covers me for 12 months. I'm telling you, you can go to these other countries and you can get covered for usually between $750 to about $1,200 or so. And I don't know about y'all, but my healthcare was expensive. My premium was a lot. I've done the employer sponsored, I've done it where I've had to pay myself. Those monthly premiums are no joke, okay? Even if it's employer sponsored, you're still paying over a little bit. And by the time you add up the co-pays and meeting your deductibles, how much are you really spending? So, yeah, Goddess, if you would not mind, please leave me the name of the clinic in the chat. I will check it out because, yeah, I'm definitely looking for some referrals to go to for the dental care. I'm hoping that you will also get, I'm hoping you'll get a credit too. So definitely, please leave that in the chat. But I am so looking forward to you also traveling and not being terrified by the cost of healthcare. It is, man, it's only in the U.S. You have to got to get outside the U.S. Things are done so much differently in other places, right? Well, where healthcare is not a business. It is not a business, and the thought is that you are going to be treated, and you're treated as, a human being. You're not just a number. You're not having an accountant, tell you whether you can get a procedure or not. Okay, it's covered. It's covered. So that's the big difference, and it's why I advocate that Black women, listen, move abroad. Plan to move abroad. Okay, God, it's $1,200 for 2 crowns, 2 other services, there and done for 3 permanent crowns. Oh, the lowest quote was $4,500. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a big difference. And I know that even some of the border towns in Texas and some of the border states, Arizona, there are doctors that will, dentists and stuff that'll work on your teeth or whatever, that are perhaps run by people from Mexico. So it is, thank you for the suggestion because, yeah, I'm trying to save some of my coins and get some dental work I need to have done. So I may end up just biting the bullet and paying for it here. But I need to get some things done. So thank you for that. Okay, y'all, we got 5 more minutes. Any other questions, any other concerns? I hope you guys have a great rest of a great week moving ahead, moving forward. I'm hoping you are enjoying your Sunday. I am about to go and get into some things, enjoy my Sunday. It's warm here. I'm going to go dancing, I think, a little bit, out to dinner. Yeah. So if there are no other questions, I'm going to end it here. Again, thank you so much for joining me, you all. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Don't forget the link to the Moving Abroad coaching services and itinerary planning services is in the chat and also will be in the description of this video. Just give me a second and I will upload it and share it out. I will talk to you guys later. Enjoy.